रात के अंधेरे में एक पुरानी हवेली खड़ी थी। इट्स सिलुएट, अ जैगेड स्कार अगेंस्ट द मूनलिट स्काई। अमित, एक युवा फोटोग्राफर, इस हवेली के रहस्यों को कैद करने आया था। He'd heard tales, whispers of a haunting, and was drawn to the mystery. अमित ने धीरे से हवेली के विशाल लकड़ी के दरवाजे पर दस्तक दी। The sound echoed in the stillness of the night. The door creaked open, as if beckoning him inside. The sound echoed through the empty hallway, sending shivers down his spine. He hesitated for a moment, feeling the weight of the darkness pressing in on him before stepping inside. Under, धूल और सन्नाटा छाया हुआ था. The room seemed frozen in time, untouched for years. Dust particles floated in the air, illuminated by the faint light seeping through the cracks in the walls. Cobwebs hung like macabre decorations, and the air was thick with the scent of decay. Each step he took disturbed the silence, the floorboards creaking under his weight. Amit ने अपने कैमरे से तस्वीरें लेना शुरू कर दिया, capturing the eerie beauty of the abandoned place. The flash of the camera momentarily lit up the room, revealing shadows that seemed to dance on the walls. Each click of the shutter breaking the silence like a gunshot. The sound was jarring, a stark contrast to the oppressive quiet that filled the space. तभी उसे एक फुसफुसाहट सुनाई दी. It was faint, almost imperceptible, but it sent a chill down his spine. He strained his ears, trying to make out the words. A soft, indistinct murmur that seemed to come from the walls themselves. The whispers grew louder, more insistent, as if they were trying to communicate something important. He turned, heart pounding, but found nothing. The room was empty, yet the feeling of being watched was overwhelming. He could feel eyes on him, though he saw no one. Hello? Kya yahan koi hai? His voice trembled as he called out, the sound echoing through the empty space. His voice echoed unanswered, swallowed by the darkness. The silence that followed was deafening, amplifying his fear. He stood there, frozen, unsure of what to do next. As Amit ventured deeper into the mansion, the air grew noticeably colder. His breath formed white puffs in front of him, and he could feel goosebumps prickling his skin. He reached a grand staircase, its once polished wood now rotten and decayed. He felt a presence behind him, cold and menacing. He spun around, camera raised, but there was no one there. Only a sudden gust of icy wind that sent shivers down his spine. Section 4. A ghastly apparition. Just then he heard a blood-curdling scream. The sound was so chilling it seemed to pierce through the very walls of the old, abandoned house. It came from upstairs, echoing through the empty halls. The silence that followed was almost deafening, amplifying the terror that gripped his heart. Adrenaline surged through him as he raced up the stairs, his flashlight beam dancing wildly in the darkness. Each step felt like an eternity, the creaking wood beneath his feet adding to the eerie atmosphere. He burst into a room at the end of the hallway, the source of the scream. The air was thick with an unexplainable chill, and the room seemed to close in around him. There, floating in the middle of the room, he saw it. A figure that seemed to defy the very laws of nature, hovering silently. A ghostly figure draped in white, its face obscured by long, tangled hair. The sight was both mesmerizing and horrifying, as if time itself had stopped. Terror gripped Amit's heart. He raised his camera and snapped a photo. His hands trembled, but he knew he had to capture this moment, no matter how terrifying. The flash illuminated the room, and for a fleeting moment he saw her face. It was a face of sorrow and pain, a visage that would haunt his dreams forever. Section 5. The Truth Revealed. It was the face of a young woman, beautiful, yet contorted in an expression of pure terror. Her features were delicate, almost ethereal, but the fear etched into her expression was unmistakable. It was as if she had seen something so horrifying that it had left a permanent mark on her soul. But it was her eyes that truly chilled him. They were wide, almost unnaturally so, and seemed to bore into his very being. The depth of fear in those eyes was something he had never encountered before. It was as if they were trying to convey a message, a warning of impending doom. They were his own. The camera slipped from his grasp and clattered to the floor. The realization hit him like a ton of bricks. He was not just an observer in this haunted mansion. He was a part of its dark history. The connection was undeniable, and it sent shivers down his spine. He stumbled back, tripping over his own feet, and fell through the rotting floorboards. The wood gave way beneath him, and he felt himself plummeting into the unknown. The air was thick with dust and the smell of decay, making it hard to breathe. As he plunged into the darkness below, he realized the terrifying truth. This was not just a haunted mansion, it was a trap, a place where the past and future collided in a horrifying loop. He was not just photographing the mansion's haunted past, he was living his own horrifying future. The walls seemed to close in around him, and the air grew colder. He could hear whispers, faint but unmistakable, echoing through the darkness. They were calling his name, drawing him deeper into the mansion's sinister embrace. He knew then that there was no escape. He was bound to this place, forever a part of its terrifying legacy.